As I said, this is really incredible to have to follow all these speeches that went on and the great Hall of Fame members. It's just really something to see all the legendary people that were in this room tonight and have been in this room for a long time. So I would like to start out by just thanking everybody that has allowed me to get to this point. I'm actually just trying to find my sheet right now because it doesn't seem to be in the right order. But anyhow, I appreciate the confidence that you've placed in me, and I'm deeply honored and humbled to stand here before you tonight as your newly elected chairman. First, I'd really like to give Scott another round of applause for his leadership and dedication to FTBA last year. Thank you, Scott. Wish I could see you, but I can't see anybody out there. Many of you have joked about keeping my remarks shorter than Scott from last year. And Scott, you've been a very good sport about this whole thing, about the length of your speech and all the ribbon that you've taken. So I promise all of you that I will be shorter than Scott was last year. And what I would say is that I'll be less than one drink, except for, I know there's a lot of contractors out there and there's a lot of fast drinkers, so you might have to just slow it down just a tad. But I'd like to start out with acknowledging a few individuals and groups. So could I please ask for all the past chairmen and along with their new member, Scott Pittman, to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. Next, I'd like to introduce to you this year's executive committee. Please stand when your name is called and remain standing. And I would ask everybody to please hold your applause until the end of me introducing the board. So Chair-elect is Joey Anderson. Secretary-Treasurer, Rick Contos. Immediate past Chair, Scott Pittman. President, Ananth Prasad. Rusty Birchall, John Hooper, and new member, Danny Haley. I would also like to ask the rest of the Board of Directors to please stand, including new members, Blake Roberts, Justin Morgan, Rob Lopez Jr., and Jay Gonzalia. Let's give them all a round of applause for this year's board. I would also like to ask that the advisory board members, formerly known as the district committee chairman, to stand. Please stand. And that includes new members David Schultz, Chris Kelly, Adam Cheddar, Jim Boxhold, and Brandon Wright. Let's give them a round of applause. And I want to thank all of you for being willing to serve FTBA this year. Again, congratulations to the new Hall of Fame members, the FILA graduates, and the scholarship winners. And especially a thanks to new Hall of Fame member, Bonnie Reimel, for her support towards the scholarship fundraising. It's a well-deserved honor all around. Thank you. And I know some things changed today with not as many people being able to attend because of the storm showing up. But I want to extend my gratitude to Governor DeSantis, Secretary Perdue, and the Florida Department of Transportation for their unparalleled support of our industry. Keeping in mind that a contractor's currency is financial and the FDOT's currency is public opinion. I want to thank the FDOT for their supporting of contractors the past couple of years with some adjustments due to non-ordinary rising inflation issues on materials. The partnership that we have witnessed has been the best in my career, benefiting the contractor's solvency, public opinion, and the taxpayer's interest. So FDOT, thank you very much. And a big thank you to, and sincere appreciation to Ananth and his team, his staff, and for all the outstanding work that they've done for organizing this splendid convention. I look forward to working closely with you all this year, so will we please give them a round of applause for the great job that they have done. And thanks to our sponsors and exhibitors, who, without them, this convention wouldn't be possible. But I'd also like to thank them for their continued year-round commitment to us. So thank you guys very much. And now I'd like to introduce you to my family, the other owners of Gator Grading and Paving, and share a little bit about my background in Gator. So please stand when I introduce you, and everybody else may be able to see you, but I'm not going to be able to see you stand. But first, I'd like to introduce my wife, Linda Hicks, and I know you're out there somewhere. So Linda and I just celebrated our 50th wedding anniversary 2 weeks ago. She is the love of my life, and I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for her support. Those of you that, as we are in construction, know that it takes a lot from the spouse to put up with what we have to deal with in this industry, and I appreciate very much what she did for me. My son, Ed Hicks. Ed is the co-owner, vice president, and COO at Gator, and a recent fellow grad. So thank you, Ed. I also want to recognize my daughter, Amanda, and son-in-law, Walt Veely, who are not with us tonight. Walt's a VP with Fred Smith Company, an affiliate of Construction Partners, Inc., and CWR Contracting. So I'm blessed to have such a great family, and I appreciate their unwavering support, which has been without question. That is, except for the year that I moved Linda away from her grandchildren. That was a tough one. But anyhow, I love you all. Thank you very much for your support and all the years and over the years. The other owners of Gator Grading and Paving are Mark Ventriglia. Mark is the Vice President of Construction Operations. Greg Byer. Greg is the Vice President of Business Development Estimating, and unfortunately Greg couldn't be with us tonight. And Mark Sanfilippo. Mark is the Controller of Gator. I want to thank you all for all your heart and the contributions that you make to Gator for making us such a successful organization. So a little bit about me. Until I was 12, I grew up in the hills of Virginia. I was raised by great parents who believed in me and taught me the strong values of integrity and hard work. My dad was in the textile industry and was transferred to Philadelphia when I was 16 years old. So imagine the culture shock that I had to go through being 16, raised in the South, now living in New Jersey with a Southern drawl like Joey Anderson. Well, I had to learn to lose that drawl for survival purposes, but it led me to the love of my life, Linda, and Linda's father, Ed, introduced me to the industry and became one of my original mentors. Unfortunately, he passed away in June, but I'll always be grateful for the knowledge that he passed on to me. Some of you remember the recession of the mid-1970s. Well, I was literally the bottom man on the totem pole at National Paving Company. So I decided to join the Army prior to the elimination of the GI Bill. I was stationed at Fort Ord, California with the 14th Engineer Battalion, and I worked in S3 as a battalion operations sergeant. Upon completing my service, we moved to Florida, and I went to work for General Asphalt Company of Bradenton, a company owned by past Hall of Fame recipient Wendell Kent. With the help of the GI Bill, I went to night school and I graduated from Manatee Junior College, after which I attended the University of South Florida. In 1984, we changed the company name to Gator Asphalt Company, mainly due to the confusion at the DOT big latings, which were held centrally in Tallahassee. And what would happen is we would receive some of the subcontractor quotes for General Asphalt of Miami, and they would receive some of ours. They incorporated before we did, so it was decided that we would change our name to Gator Asphalt Company. During the 80s and 90s, Gator Asphalt Company built many FDOT projects, and some of our most interesting being the reconstruction of 5 of the 7 projects on I-75 in Sarasota and Manatee counties, converting the asphalt roadways to asphalt. So go asphalt. I was the general manager of Gator upon its sale in 1999, and I decided that the buying organization wasn't a good fit for me. So I moved to Raleigh, North Carolina, and took a job as president of Mangum Asphalt Services. When Fred Smith bought into the company of Mangum, into the Mangum organization, it was decided to consolidate all the Mangum operating units, and I became VP and COO of CC Mangum Company. In 2006, longing to own a company, Mike Novak and I bought a small site contractor, and in January 2007, with some assistance from CC Mangum, now the Fred Smith Company, we started Gator Grading and Paving. Many of you knew Mike, and last Sunday was the three-year anniversary of his passing. His presence is constantly missed every day. There are many people that we owe thanks to for our success: our employees, our subcontractors, vendors, suppliers, business advisors, but there's one person that I want to personally, publicly thank. Upon our acquisition in 1999, our toughest competitor was Ajax Paving. After Mike Novak and I started Gator Grading and Paving, I requested a meeting with Mike Horan. I asked him if his organization would be willing to support our asphalt material needs, and Mike agreed. The partnership has lasted over 17 years and has been very beneficial to Gator's success. So Mike, thanks for all your support, and congrats on your induction into this year's Hall of Fame. Thank you. It's important for me to point out the support that we've had from others, and a reminder to all that in the world of consolidation, my suggestion would be to not burn bridges, because in today's competitive world of consolidation, you never know when tomorrow it may be your partner or your boss. The timing of Gator starting out could not have been worse, as we nailed the beginning of it to coincide with the recession that was the worst in decades. Although we originally started out to be a grading and paving contractor, we adapted, vertically integrated into an underground utility work. That now accounts for a substantial portion of Gator's self-perform work, which has helped us to grow. And although Gator's not a large contractor, as a prime contractor, I believe we have an obligation to handle our subcontractors with respect by paying them timely, within terms, and supporting their needs during the construction process. Financially, many of them need the cash flow to survive, and I know that they appreciate it. This builds loyalty and ensures the best service from them. With this being an election year, FTBA has and will continue to work hard to support the candidates that align with the needs of our organization and industry. I'd like to thank our advocacy partners, Ballard Partners and Capital City Consultants, for their assistance in this process and for advancing our legislative agenda. So for this year, along with our committees, we'll continue to work on issues such as work zone safety, OSHA's heat-related mandate, the high school training program, and as I like to call it, the Roberts & Roberts CDL program. We'll work with ARPA on the Buy American challenges, the Waters of the U.S. ruling, and reauthorization of the highway bill, which is due in 2 years, although it takes the work now to get started. We'll continue to work with FDOT on specifications, workforce development, highway safety issues, and most importantly, ensuring that we meet the needs of the aggressive work program. I'd like to leave you with a quote from Coach Jimmy V. You have to have an enthusiasm for life, you have to have a dream, a goal, and you have to be willing to work hard for it. I'd like to urge all of you to get and stay engaged and active in our mission. Your contributions, no matter how big or how small, is vital to the success of the organization. Let's embrace this journey with passion, determination, and I thank you once again for this incredible opportunity. Thank you.